So,
Right.
all right. So what got you into the real estate market? Tell us about that journey.
Yeah. So when I was younger, I always talked to my dad, talked to my brother, talked to really my family, especially my dad's cousin, about real estate and investing in real estate. So when I first started talking about real estate, it was from an investor's perspective. It wasn't even from an agent perspective.
Wow.
And, I bought my house when I was younger. I was 17 when I signed. I actually purchased when I was 18. No cosigner.
What?
Yes.
Okay, wait a minute. Now, right, what's interesting is that we are actually living in a time to where high school students are seeing college as more of a cost burden, right?
Right.
And there is more of an appetite for them to say, you know what, I may not go to school immediately. I want to start making some money right off the bat.
hmm
So purchasing a home may be on their horizon. And so tell us that process, just being under the age of 18 and being able to close on a home by your 18. What was that process like?
So for me, I kind of did go the college route, but I chose a college that I can go straight into my major. So I went ahead and did that. I was able to go into a what are those called? Like a job fair. When I
Okay.
was, I was friends with all the deans and all that stuff. So I was able to go to the college fair as a freshman when normally that's held for, upperclassmen. And I came across this engineering company, and that's what I was going for, is engineering. And they hired me. And so
Wow.
I had a really good job when I first started out. And of course, work ethic, that's number one. People don't talk about that. Work ethic was what got me there. And then, of course, I started getting into leadership and things like that. And then that's how I was able to purchase my house.
So part of the underwriting process is typically the financials, right? And
Yes.
so what was that process like? Because you mentioned you didn't have anyone else on the app with you, right? And so they
Right.
had to look at your numbers, your credit, right? Things of that
hmm
nature. So tell us like the preparation. Y'all, we getting deep into this. I didn't know we are gonna
Oh,
get
yeah.
this deep. It's such a rare occasion, right, to be
Yes.
able to go through one of the largest transactions that typically is the largest transaction in
hmm
households portfolio, right,
hmm
outside of real estate, and so 401k, things of that nature. And so I'm just very curious how you were able to position yourself for a bank to say yes.
Right. So it comes into financial literacy, really, because my parents saw that at a very young age. They added me onto their credit cards as an authorized user. However, this can go one of two ways. Sometimes people in our community do not do right.
Talk to me.
So you have to actually pay the credit card. It has to have a positive standing in order for you to add your child to it and build up their credit while they're young.
Yeah.
And with my parents doing that, I think I was maybe 14 or 15 when they started adding me onto their credit cards. It was able to build years and years of good payment history.
Mm.
Even though I wasn't necessarily the one making the payments, it
Right.
was good payment history. So that built my credit, because no credit is almost just as bad as bad credit,
Right. Right.
honestly.
It's true.
So they were able to do that. And of course, with my job and me making smart decisions with saving and things like that, I mean, it was like a match made in heaven from a lender perspective. They were like, wow, you're so young, but you have established in good credit. And then you have the money to match it.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
That is one. I know that there are parents that's going to listen to this and say, I'm going to do that.
Yes.
But two, just as you mentioned, anything, we say this a good bit, anything you can use, you can abuse. Right. And
Yes.
so unfortunately, we teach a good, I won't say unfortunate we teach, but when we do teach in different schools, unfortunately, we see different we'll just say responses to that, right? So we'll
Yes.
pull credit while they're in class. They may be 11th grade, 10th grade, 12th grade, what, it really doesn't matter when. And there's a surprise of, hey, I didn't purchase this.
Or
Hey,
I
I didn't
didn't
know
know
this
this
was in my name.
utility.
Right,
hmm
right. And so you know, usually there is that other side of the coin to where it's just like, they didn't necessarily use it as an asset for you. And so I just shout out to your parents, you know, for
Yes.
being that example, but also more importantly, shout out to you to really putting forth that discipline, right? It's one thing to know the information, it's another thing to put it in place, right? And
Right.
so all right, great. So graduated high school early, went
Yes.
through the process of purchasing a home
Mhm.
super early, right?
Yes.
At the age of